My sister told everyone I bought her a house to impress her boyfriend. Then my family accused me of abandoning her. But they had no idea what was coming. I need some perspective here because I'm starting to feel like I'm going crazy, and I honestly don't know if I'm being unreasonable or if my family dynamics are as messed up as they seem right now. My sister Jade and I grew up in what most people would consider a pretty traditional upper-middle-class family. Both our parents are successful attorneys who built their practice from the ground up, and they've always had very clear expectations about career success, financial stability, and what they call responsible life choices. I followed that path pretty closely. I'm a financial advisor at a mid-sized firm. I own my downtown condo that I bought 3 years ago, and I've been steadily building my career and savings for the past 8 years. Nothing glamorous, but I'm proud of what I've accomplished. Jade, that's a completely different story entirely. She graduated with her MBA 2 years ago, which our parents paid for completely, and has spent the time since then finding herself through various unpaid internships abroad, volunteer programs in developing countries, and what she calls exploring her creative side through different startup ventures that never seem to materialize into actual income. She moved back to our hometown 6 months ago after her latest venture, some kind of sustainable fashion consulting thing, fell through. And that's when things started getting really weird between us. Last weekend, at our monthly family dinner, I mentioned that my firm had offered me a partnership track position. I was genuinely excited about it because I've been working toward this for years, and I've been looking at bigger properties since my income's about to increase significantly. I thought it was good news that everyone would be happy about, especially our parents who are always talking about career advancement and building wealth. Jade literally laughed when I told them. Not like a happy, congratulatory laugh, this dismissive little chuckle that made my stomach drop. God, Marcus, you're really going full corporate drone, aren't you? I mean, good for you, I guess, but I'm not ready for that boring life yet. Some of us want to actually experience the world before we chain ourselves to a desk forever. I tried to brush it off and asked her what her long-term plans were, genuinely curious about what she wanted to do next. I wasn't trying to be judgmental. I really wanted to understand her perspective and maybe offer some support if she needed it. Her response completely floored me. I want to travel more, maybe start a lifestyle blog about sustainable living, experience different cultures before I settle into anything serious. Actually live life instead of just working all the time and accumulating stuff. Then she looked at me with this expectant smile that I'll never forget. Besides, you're the responsible one who has everything figured out. You'll always be there when I'm ready to get serious about career and family stuff. That's just how we work. When I'm ready, that's just how we work, like I'm just sitting around waiting for her to decide she wants to be an adult. Like my entire life exists specifically so she can take risks without consequences. I tried to laugh it off because I didn't want to cause drama at family dinner, but something about the way she said it really bothered me. It felt like she was treating me as her personal safety net, like my stability and success exist specifically for her benefit when she eventually decides she's done playing around. Our parents didn't say anything during this exchange, but I caught them exchanging this look across the table. The kind of look that says they not only agree with her perspective, but think it's completely normal and reasonable. My dad just nodded slightly, and my mom started talking about how everyone has different timelines and family supports each other's journeys. The whole drive home, I couldn't shake this feeling that something was fundamentally wrong with that conversation. I keep replaying it in my head, and every time I do, I get more frustrated. Am I overreacting here? I love my sister, and I want her to be happy, but I'm starting to feel like she expects me to handle all the boring, adult responsibilities while she gets to play at being a free spirit indefinitely. And somehow I'm supposed to be okay with that arrangement because I'm the stable one who has everything figured out. Is it normal for families to work this way? Because it's starting to feel really unfair, like I'm being penalized for making responsible choices while she gets rewarded for avoiding them. I've worked hard to build my career and financial stability, and I'm proud of what I've accomplished. But lately, it feels like my success is being treated as a family resource rather than my personal achievement. I'm also starting to worry about what happens when she is ready to get serious. What exactly does that mean? That I'll be expected to help her catch up financially, that I'll need to support her while she transitions into a more traditional career, that my life decisions will always need to factor in her needs and timeline. Maybe I'm overthinking this, but I can't shake the feeling that I'm being set up to be responsible for both of our futures, while she gets to explore hers without consequences. A few people are asking about our parents' reaction to this conversation. They didn't explicitly agree with Jade's statement about me being her backup plan, but they also didn't say anything when she basically announced that my life exists to support her choices. My dad just changed the subject to asking about my work projects, and my mom started clearing dishes and talking about dessert. I think they see this as normal sibling dynamics, where the successful one naturally supports the creative one, but it felt like so much more than that to me. Original post is in my history for anyone who wants context. Thanks for all the responses on that. They really helped me realize I wasn't crazy for feeling uncomfortable about my sister's expectations. Well, things have escalated significantly, and I'm starting to see that this is a much bigger pattern than I initially realized. 3 weeks ago, Jade called me about our parents' 30th anniversary party that's coming up in 2 months. "Marcus, I know you're really good at organizing events and handling logistics, and I'm still figuring out my income streams right now, so could you handle the planning and expenses? I'll totally help with all the creative aspects and decorating." The way she said it wasn't really a question, it was more like she was informing me of a decision that had already been made. When I hesitated and asked about the budget, she started describing this elaborate celebration that would easily cost $3,000 to $4,000. Catered dinner, professional photographer, venue rental, the works. When I didn't immediately agree, she launched into this guilt trip about how I'm the stable one and how the family depends on my reliability. "Come on, Marcus, you know I'll pay you back when my blog starts making money. This is for our parents, don't you want to give them something special? I thought you'd be excited to do this together." Her blog, the lifestyle blog she started 2 weeks prior, with 12 followers, all family members. I ended up agreeing because I didn't want to be the reason our parents had a disappointing anniversary celebration, but I told her we needed to split the costs somehow. She said, "Of course, absolutely," but hasn't contributed a single penny toward any of the planning or expenses I've already incurred. When I brought this up yesterday, she said she's cash flow negative right now, but her consulting gigs are about to take off, and she'll be able to contribute more once they do. But here's the thing that's really starting to bother me. She's been having conversations with our extended family about my attitude toward money and success. At my cousin's wedding last weekend, my aunt pulled me aside and said maybe I should support Jade's journey more since I'm already settled and established. My uncle made a comment about how some people are natural entrepreneurs and need support from family to get started. Already settled. Like I'm done living my life and growing as a person at 31 years old. I started asking questions and realized that Jade has been telling people that I'm too focused on money and don't understand the importance of following your dreams and taking risks. She's been painting me as this materialistic person who's lost touch with what really matters in life, while positioning herself as the free spirit who's brave enough to pursue her passions. Yesterday was the final straw that made me realize how manipulative this whole situation has become. Jade asked to borrow $2,000 for what she called a business opportunity, some online course about lifestyle blogging and social media marketing that promises to teach you how to monetize your personal brand. She presented it like an investment in her future that would benefit the whole family once she becomes successful. When I said no, she completely lost it. "You're just mad because you chose the boring, safe path and I didn't. A good brother would want to invest in his sister's future instead of hoarding money like some kind of miser." Then she started crying and said I was being unsupportive and jealous of her freedom to pursue her dreams. "I can't believe you're going to let $2,000 stand in the way of my success. You spend more than that on your stupid condo upgrades." Within an hour of our conversation, she had called our parents. My mom was texting me about family unity and how successful people have a responsibility to help others grow. My dad left a voicemail saying he was disappointed in my attitude and that we needed to have a conversation about what family means. I'm starting to realize that this isn't just about Jade expecting me to be her backup plan. She's actively working to make me feel guilty for having boundaries around my money and time. She's created this narrative where I'm the selfish, materialistic brother who's forgotten his family values, while she's the brave dreamer who just needs support to achieve her potential. The comments on my last post about setting boundaries really resonated with me, but I'm starting to understand that this is going to be much harder than I thought. It's not just Jade I'm dealing with, it's a whole family system that sees my success as a resource that should be available to support her exploration phase. To clarify for people asking, I'm not against supporting family members who are going through difficult times. But there's a huge difference between helping someone through a temporary rough patch and being expected to subsidize someone's lifestyle while they find themselves indefinitely. The anniversary party was one thing, but she's already hinting about needing help with rent next month, and I can see this becoming a permanent arrangement. Holy shit, you guys. I thought the borrowing money thing was bad. This is so much worse. Last Tuesday, my dad called me excited about a family investment opportunity that Jade had told him about. Apparently, she'd been showing our parents' vacation properties about 2 hours from our hometown, presenting it as a joint venture between her and me. I had no idea what he was talking about. Turns out, for the past month, Jade has been telling our parents that we're planning to buy a vacation rental property together. She said I'd handle the financing since I have better credit and stable income, while she'd contribute sweat equity through renovation work. She's already taken them to see 3 different properties. When I confronted her, she seemed genuinely confused about why I was upset. I figured you'd be on board since you're always the practical one who handles family investments. This is exactly the kind of thing you'd want to do. Family investments, like we're some kind of business partnership I never agreed to, but it gets worse. I found out through a mutual friend that Jade's been telling people she's dating that she comes from a wealthy family with property investments. She's been using my success to enhance her own social status, basically catfishing people with my financial stability. When I told her absolutely not, she lost it. Started posting on social media about family support and following your dreams with these passive-aggressive quotes about how some people are too afraid to take risks, and real family invests in each other's futures. My phone started blowing up. Cousins, family friends, even some of our parents' colleagues were messaging me about how I should give Jade a chance, and not everyone follows the same path to success. She turned my refusal into a public referendum on whether I'm a good brother. Yesterday, she posted a long Instagram story about how privileged people have a responsibility to lift others up, and how some family members forget where they came from. She didn't name me, but everyone knew exactly who she meant. My parents asked me to come to dinner tonight to discuss the property situation. I have a feeling this is going to be an intervention about my selfishness. I've been documenting everything, screenshots of her social media posts, the texts about borrowing money, even recorded our conversation about the property, legal in my state. I'm starting to think I need to protect myself legally. This isn't about family support anymore. This is about someone trying to use my identity and financial stability for their own benefit without my consent. Several people suggested I check my credit report. I did. Nothing suspicious yet, but I'm putting a freeze on it just in case. I'm writing this from my hotel room. I've been here for 3 days, trying to process what happened at that family dinner and figure out my next steps. The dinner was a disaster. Both parents, Jade, and even my aunt were there. It was a full-scale intervention about my responsibility to family and how I'm holding Jade back from her potential. My mom actually said, "Marcus, you've been blessed with stability. Shouldn't you want to share that with your sister?" When I explained that Jade had been using my name and financial reputation without permission, my dad said, "That's what family does. We support each other's opportunities." Support each other's opportunities by committing to major financial obligations without consent. I realized they genuinely don't see anything wrong with Jade's behavior. In their minds, my success belongs to the family, and I'm being selfish by not making it available for Jade's journey. So I went nuclear. I told them I'm accepting a partnership position at a firm in another city. I'm moving in 6 weeks. I will no longer be available as the family's financial backup or responsibility handler. I'm buying a house there, and I'm starting fresh. The room went dead silent. Then Jade started crying. "You can't just abandon your family because I asked for help. This is so extreme." I pulled out my phone and read back some of her social media posts about privileged family members and people who forget where they came from. I showed them screenshots of her telling people we were buying property together. "This isn't asking for help," I said. "This is identity theft and financial manipulation." My dad got angry. "You're being dramatic." Jade made a mistake, but family works through problems together. "No," I said. "Family doesn't commit each other to financial obligations without consent. Family doesn't use each other's success to lie to potential romantic partners. And family doesn't launch social media campaigns to pressure each other into compliance." I left that night. I've spent the last 3 days consulting with attorneys about protecting my assets and credit. I'm putting legal boundaries in place to prevent future financial manipulation. I've also been talking to a therapist about family dynamics and boundary setting. The most surprising thing, I feel incredible. For the first time in months, I'm not worried about what Jade needs or what my parents expect. I'm making decisions based on what I want for my life. Sarah, the veterinarian I've been dating, has been amazingly supportive. She's actually considering moving to the new city with me. It's refreshing to be with someone who sees partnership as mutual support, not one person funding the other's exploration phase. My parents have been calling nonstop. Jade left a voicemail yesterday saying she's sorry for the misunderstanding and promising to pay back the money she borrowed. But she's still posting about family betrayal on social media. I'm not responding to any of it. I'm focused on building a life where my success belongs to me and the people I choose to share it with. Several people asked about other family members. My dad's brother actually called me yesterday to say he's proud of me for setting boundaries. Apparently, he's been watching Jade's behavior for years and wondering when someone would finally call her out. It's validating to know not everyone in the family thinks I'm the villain here. It's been 6 months since I moved, and I wanted to update everyone who followed this story. Your support meant everything during that difficult time. Life in the new city is incredible. The partnership is going better than I expected, and I bought a beautiful house in a neighborhood I love. Sarah moved here with me 3 months ago, and we're planning our future together based on mutual respect and shared goals. It's amazing what healthy relationships feel like when both people contribute equally. The family situation has been interesting. For the first 2 months, Jade kept trying to manipulate the situation through social media and extended family pressure. She posted about family abandonment and how some people choose money over love. A few relatives reached out trying to guilt me into reconciling. I maintained my boundaries consistently. No financial help, no covering family obligations, no being available for emergencies while she figured out her life. I sent a group text to extended family explaining the situation factually, with documentation of her behavior. Most people stopped pressuring me after that. The turning point came when Jade asked our parents for money to cover her rent. My dad apparently said, "Ask Marcus, he's the one with the stable income." "Marcus moved away because you all expected him to fund my lifestyle," Jade replied. "Maybe I should actually get a job." Progress. My parents finally required Jade to find stable employment instead of depending on family financial support. She fought it initially, but she's been working at a marketing agency for 3 months now. She's still struggling with taking full responsibility for her choices, but she's learning. My relationship with my parents has actually improved. Without me as the default solution for family problems, they've had to address issues directly. My dad privately admitted he'd noticed Jade's entitled behavior, but hoped she'd mature naturally. My mom said she didn't realize how much pressure they'd been putting on me. The most rewarding part has been mentoring young professionals at my firm. I've been able to help several people navigate family pressure about career choices and financial boundaries. It's fulfilling to turn my experience into something that helps others. Jade and I have limited contact now. She sent a genuine apology letter last month, acknowledging that she'd been treating me as her safety net instead of building her own stability. We're not close, but we're civil at family gatherings. The key lesson I learned: supporting family doesn't mean accepting manipulation or serving as someone's backup plan. Healthy families want each member to thrive independently, not depend on others indefinitely. For anyone dealing with similar situations, document everything, set clear boundaries, and don't be afraid to prioritize your own well-being. You can't help someone grow by enabling their dependence. Sarah and I are looking at engagement rings next weekend. I'm building a life with someone who sees partnership as mutual support, not one person funding the other's journey. That's what healthy relationships actually look like. Okay, for those asking, yes, I'm still in therapy. It's been incredibly helpful for understanding family dynamics and building healthy boundaries. I recommend it for anyone dealing with similar manipulation patterns.